Back in the southern hemisphere, mate. I'm
Yeah,
down under.
yeah.
I'm down
Hard
under
to
again.
believe it. Hard to believe you were here last week in the piss and rain, getting blown around the Mourne Mountains. Hard to believe it. Back in the sunshine now. I kind of hate you right now. Kind of hate you.
Well, I mean, 30 hours. 30 hours ago,
Yeah.
I was at home in Ireland. So, yeah. Anyway, look, let's start the show. This is Trail Talk. Every Monday, you get it on Instagram. You can replay it wherever you do podcasts. And from this week, the podcast resharing will be in landscape mode because everyone that casts onto TV was like, no, this is way better after last week's landscape when we did it live in Newcastle. So let us know in the comments what you think about that if you're doing the replay. But I'm Aaron Shimmons.
And I'm Ricki Wynne.
Ricky's sleepy today. Ricky, you've had a hard day. Tell us about it. How'd your day go?
It's a tough day, man. Just weather beating me around the place. Wind, cold, wet. The usual in February in Ireland on a roof. It's my life. It's my life, you know. But we continue. We push forward. We keep showing up. Isn't that what it's about? My wife is just coming into the room now, bringing me a cup of tea. So everyone say hello, hello.
I'm on the coffee. Cheers. Look at the little thing in my mug. It's
Yeah.
not cute.
It's like a cap. Is it a capybara or something? Is that they call that fella?
No, no, that's the wee thing that was doing like the rounds on Instagram as a meme, with a wee tongue, and everyone was
Mm,
sharing it. For well, we'll not go into that, but yeah, it has a very active tongue.
mm.
So, look, there's Steve in the chat. First time back in the live instead of on YouTube. Yeah, how's it going, Steve? Good to see you
Good to
back
see
on the
you.
gram as well. Training hard, and I'm loving it. All the Alban app updates are looking good. Ricky, we've got a stacked show. What are we going to talk about? We had the meet up last week. Not much to say on that, but we've had a lot of questions come through. I was like, when's the next one? I want to be at the next one because people enjoyed it. It was good crack. We had, good run, most of us. And the next one's going to be, I think, the 15th, 16th of November, that weekend, again in Mourne. Obviously, we've got Swiss Canyon Trail in 2, 3 months. So that'll be the next meetup in person. But then the next one in Ireland is going to be in November. I'm going to be back again for a couple of weeks at a family wedding in Donegal. So weekend after, what do? We do another Trail Top meetup in Mourne. And then a couple of big ticket news items like Golden Trail announced their 2026 calendar. Stuck a poll up on that. We'll go through a little bit of that. Want to chat about that. We've got to do our weekly training update. Big weekend in racing. Black Canyon,
Mm.
Tarawera is coming up this weekend. What else? I mean, as I said, yeah, I've got more notes than I could speak about. So
Yeah.
we'll crack on with that. Also, one thing about the Mourne meetup, I don't know if everyone knew this at the time, but I was filming a vlog for the YouTube channel as we kind of relaunched the YouTube, moving it slightly not away from podcasting, but getting it back to its original form. Like I started on YouTube in like 2010. My first running video on YouTube was like 2011, running in the mornings with my little Jack Russell. And the YouTube's going back to the vlogs. The podcasts are still going to stay there. The interviews are still going to stay there. They're still going to be part of it, but they're not going to be the 100% of it. So
Yeah.
we've been talking about this. We have some vlogs in planning as we train for these races in the spring. Adventures as well. There'll obviously be Swiss Canyon Trail meetup vlog in May. So lots of cool things just expanding on the YouTube channel. So you know where to get the link if you want to subscribe there and follow along. But it won't just be podcasting because I've managed to create a little bit more capacity. I was, whenever I look back at the vlogging, the last vlog I posted was the 5 day series at UTMB 2023, right? So they got posted, and then I think there was one in Singapore. Basically, it ended in September 2023. Guess when Trail Talk started? October 2023.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
I haven't filmed a vlog, produced a vlog since then, and I actually had a backlog of stuff that I just canned it, like race videos from Verbier, UTMB race, Swiss Canyon or Swiss Alps 100. Didn't actually produce that vlog. I don't really intend to go back and redo or and produce those with that content. That we're moving forward here.
Yeah, but exactly. There's so many things coming up in the future that, like, you know what I mean, are going to outdo that anyway. Like, so there's no need to go back when we're going forward, man.
Yeah, like if I look at the next 3 months, I can think of a couple of things every month to 6 weeks, which is
Yeah.
vlog worthy. So should be
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Sean in the chat, happy Trail Talk Day. Yes, it is, my friend. We're back. It's Monday for you. It's Tuesday for me. Ricky, Golden Trail 2026
Yeah.
calendar announced. Uh, Lots of thoughts on this. Lots of chat on this in the Trail Talk WhatsApp community. No race in the USA.
In America, yeah, no race in America. It's strange because I thought the ones in America, especially Broken Arrow, like I thought that was incredible. I thought that was an incredible race, brought a lot of hype, did what America does, you know what I mean? It brought it. So I'm disappointed that that's not going to be back, or any race really is going to be there from Golden Trail Series in America. You know, is that a step backwards? Like, what is that?
I mean, that's what I think. I put up a poll on the broadcast channel. 67% of people said yes, they think it's losing its edge. 30% said it's changed, but it's not worse. So majority of people think, yeah, it's kind of going by the wayside a little bit. I think they've got lost a little bit in the last couple of years. They've taken away some classic races like Mont Blanc Marathon, Pikes
Yeah,
Peak Ascent, now Broken Arrow, which was a
yeah,
modern day classic since the kind of skyrunning revival and its introduction into America when that race was created. So I think it's sad. It's definitely, in my opinion, because they're chasing this sort of Olympic vision, not village, this Olympic vision for the sport to try and make it more kind of spectator or TV friendly, not even spectator friendly. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that goes. I think whenever series like this deviate from what made it cool and interesting and loved, creates opportunity for other series. So my opinion is over the past couple of years, we've seen an increase in interest from the short distance UTMB races. If we jump back 3 years ago, no one talked about ETC or the
yeah,
20K UTMB races. They were like, oh yeah, people do them, but it's just like the revenue spinners for UTMB. But now we actually see pro athletes turning up and doing those races. So I think that's one of the openings that's come around. I think there's openings possibly with Skyrunner World Series. They've now got two races in America coming in this year. Great to see both on West and East Coast, which I think is great news. Always a big Skyrunner fan anyway. Only race in North America for Golden Trail is Quebec Mega Trail in Canada on 5th of July.
yeah, way up north. Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think about this whole thing? What's your take
yeah,
on the Olympic vision and this changes to series?
yeah. Look, just for me, it's disappointing. There's nothing in America. You know what I mean? I always like, look, I'm an American at heart. You know what I mean? I think both of us are big fans of it. That's a bit of a downer. There's other things in there though. Like we'd say they have changed other things, and they've changed like the prize money on it, and they've changed
That your
what's
American
the
heart?
heart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But they've changed. Like they've brought a much higher prize money into the series as well, and then they've done something. They've done something. I want to hear what you tell me because you'll know exactly what they're on about. Is where they've got segments. Am I
Ye-
reading this right? Where they've got like segments within races that earn you
Yeah.
points. Explain this to me because if this is what I think it is, it sounds like a computer game, man. Where there's a
It kind of
section
does
in,
sound
in,
like a
in the
computer
race.
game. So let's explain it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it, and you can back up at me. So what they're introducing this year is points for segment crowns in the race. And instead of it being an uphill segment, which we have seen a couple of times at the finale, I believe, they're going to have points for segments which are up, down, and flat. So
Hmm.
runners can score extra points. So let's just pick a number out of the sky and says 10 points for a win. You could get an extra point for a segment crown. So if there's three segments in a race, potentially you could get 13 if you won and won all the, and crowned all the segments. So they're gamifying it. To me,
Yeah,
it feels a little bit like Formula One. And like in Formula One, you used to be able to get a point for pole position, point for fastest lap. And
yeah.
the reason they did that then was because they had to make it more spicy, more interesting, because the racing wasn't that good. There wasn't that much passing. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I like this. It sounds like you're watering it down. Sometimes, like, look, to me, racing's racing, right? You have winners, you have losers. But like, are you telling me that like somebody's going to go around after a race that finished like 10th in the race and they're going to be like having bragging rights about, oh, well, I got the crown on such a segment there. I'm like, I don't give a shit if you got the crown. You were 10th. You didn't win the race. Don't be telling me what you did on that segment. Why didn't you run hard for the whole race? Why are you just picking one or two segments in there? I get it in Formula One. I get it. I get it for the smaller teams. You know what I mean? It's a points thing, and you're getting your team points. I get it, but that may be okay. That may be the other side of it too, because they're also what bringing a team style side of it into it as well. So let's say Solomon could have a team, Hoka could have a team, Scarpa could have a team. And that way then you can have points for your segments and like a constructors league or something
Championship.
at the end
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
but it's
Top
not
two
Formula
male,
One.
top two female of each team will then gather points for a team championship. That's not something that interests me at all.
No.
I'm into elbows out racing, not
Yeah.
who has the best two to accrue points over the season. I kind of get what why they're doing it. They're not doing it for the racing. They're kind of maybe doing it for more. Oh, I hate saying like it's for more content, but there's more marketability and
Yeah.
more things that they can do around that postseason. Hoko with the top team, closely followed by Terex, all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me. It
No,
feels a wee bit American.
yeah, but without American races, like, and
Yeah,
do you know what? Probably the best elbows out race in the season was in America. You know what I mean? At Broken Arrow, like that was an incredible race. Like, and that's what we're going to miss this year. But that just making these little changes. Well, it's actually a lot of changes. Making those changes, I don't know, it kind of waters it down for me. I think like we're ultra runners, right? At the end of the day, we're ultra runners, so we're big fans of the ultra. And then Golden Trail Series came in a few years ago with much shorter races, very exciting, very spectator sport, right? So like heading for the Olympics, maybe this is something that could happen. But now it feels like, what are you doing? Why are you messing with it? What are you wrecking it for? It's fine. Leave it alone. You, um, even if you take them out of America, that's okay. You can't get a race in America. Maybe that's to do with visas. Maybe that's just to do with TV. Maybe that's to do with. But stop changing everything else and adding little stupid games into the race. It's just not for me, man.
yeah. And like to the viewers and the listeners, let us know what you think about the segment points, the uphill, downhill, flat segments, and how teams can or runners can add points in their championship with that. I'd love to know what people think.
Mm.
Touching on the USA thing, it could be visa related. Didn't they? They had issues previously with they had slow visas come through for the African runners, and things in America have only got more, well, I mean, worse, complicated,
Yeah,
down the pan, whatever way you want to put it, all negative kind of stuff. So maybe maybe that was a factor. But also, I got to think maybe they would have stayed with Broken Arrow if it was an option. But ACG, Nike came in with that title sponsorship, and that is a conflict with Golden Trail. So I don't think that was possible. So who knows? Maybe they wanted to be in or in USA, but they weren't able to because of the Broken Arrow race went, and then they didn't have a replacement. Maybe we'll see them back next year.
yeah. That's actually a very, very good point. Like we'll say, like we don't know when they were told ACG was taking over Broken Arrow, and like that could have been a bombshell on Golden Trail. You know what I mean? So yeah, that definitely could have been a spanner in the works.
It's not really Golden Trail anymore because the Golden Trail races are pretty much all gone. If you look at the list, Zegama, Ledro, Quebec, Pitts Alpine, Serzanal, Mayoko Trail, Jinshanling, and Muja Trail. I mean, there's two Golden Trail races there. There's two golden, iconic, historic races there, and the others are, I mean, potentially very good, awesome, great. A few extra like a couple of races in Asia, China, Japan, and the finale is in South Korea. I
Yeah,
think that South Korean race didn't didn't Vlad Excel run that last year?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So yeah, look, no doubt they're great races, but the Golden Trail has moved very far away from what it was, and I
yeah,
don't think that we're anti-change. But I do like how Skyrunner has expanded, but you've still got, the Trofeo Kema, the Matterhorn Ultrax, the
yeah.
iconic
The big
races,
ones. Yeah.
because they've got more races to kind of play with. I forget how many are in that series, but probably double what's in the Golden Trail World Series list. Going back to the segment thing, how would you race if there was crowns to be won?
Oh, no way, man. That would not be like even in training, right? Even if I'm in training and I know there's a segment on a loop, you know what I mean? If I'm on a loop, I know there's a segment on that loop. I will try and get that segment in a training run of the full loop. I won't just go for that segment in the training loop in it. You know what I mean? I'm not picking a segment, you know? So there's no way a professional athlete wants to just pick off a segment in a race and say, "Oh, well, I want that, so I'm going to sacrifice, a position just so that I'm fresh to hit that segment hard." If you're racing like that, you're not racing.
But maybe the smart racer is thinking about the championship. Like we know Elisane is kind of smart in his tactics, so maybe he likes to sit back. So maybe he maybe he would choose to sit back, and then whenever he decides to make his move, he makes his move on a segment. So he gets the
Yeah,
move, he
yeah,
gets the
yeah.
pass and the KOM.
Yeah, there's a lot of wheels in motion if you're thinking like that, though. There is, isn't there, right? I mean, it's hard enough that LSE
You
to be
like that, didn't you?
racing. I did like that, yeah. I actually did like that. But I mean, I'm just thinking, the thought process there straight away is a lot. There's a lot going on that you're worried about the people in front of you, how close you are to them, and then you're also introducing this segment into it as well. That's a lot of moving parts for me, and I don't know. Like you made it sound cool, eh? I'm going to give it to you there. You made that sound cool that you could win the race. Edison could win the race and like hit one or two of those segments as well. So then he wins with like, let's say he gets 10 points for the win, and a point and maybe a bonus and like there's prize money for the win. There could be bonuses for segments, stuff like that. Like so,
Mate, you
that's
just
cool.
you
But
just you just didn't make it sound as cool as me.
no, no.
I
I'm just
actually got
trying to
lost
get
there
my
what you were
head
saying.
around it.
a question in the chat from Steve. Seems very similar to World Tour cycling. Are they going to crown an overall uphill or downhill champion at the end of the season? I don't think so. No, I think they can just get points going towards the overall championship. So a bit like how that was possible in the finale. I think they can just do it through the season now. So
Mm,
and a comment that came through earlier on as well about Millimani runners have been banned from Sears and Al because of the doping. I think that was the case last year. Like that Sears and Al's policy is if they've been caught doping or something, so they've just ended up banning the team. So yeah, here, good move. We need
yeah.
some strong hands in the anti-doping world,
But they
which
also are, yeah, seemingly they're increasing their stance on the doping situation as well. They're going to be even having out of season or
out of
out of
competition.
race, out of competition testing as well. Great to see it, Let's see how that's done over the season as well.
Yeah, and a 45% increase in prize money. So definitely moving forward in all the right ways with a few question marks.
Yeah, yeah, because I did I see that the prize money, like in total, the prize money was close to $500,000. It was like 400 and something thousand. Like that's pretty good prize money, like for short trail races, let's say.
Yeah, with I think the series winners, so that's spread over the series, and the winners get 30K each.
Mm,
So, I mean, that's more than a UTMB win, isn't it? Isn't the UTMB around 20?
yeah. Is it even 20? Is it even 20 for the win? It
It keeps going
mightn't.
up, like, one puts it up and then the next one follows. Like UTMB, I don't think will ever be the leaders on prize money.
No,
Another
they'll just
chat coming
wait, yeah.
through, another comment come through in the chat wanting to know whenever you're coming to Sydney to race.
I've been to Sydney. I've been to Sydney. I was in Sydney in 2007 when I was a young fella. But I'd love to come again. I would love to come again. I definitely would. It's definitely not out of the question. I'd love to go and race in every single country in the world, to be honest with you.
Last question on Golden Trail, and I'd love to know what people think in the chat as well, or if you're listening back, stick it into the comments. If you're an elite runner going into a season, how do you make the choice between like Golden Trail, UTMB, Skyrunner, like prize money, prestige, quality of course, broadcast exposure? Like what are the factors you think that are pulling people to these things?
It's a very good question, actually. Like
Well,
it's a great
for
question.
you, like what would what would pull you to
For
one
me
over
right
the
now,
other?
for me, it's the how would you say it? Like, I would want it to be about the prestige, right? As in, it's the races you want to win are the races that everybody talks about, and you know that you will be remembered forever if you win one of those races. You will be stamped in history forever, and people will be talking about you and they'll remember your name. I think, like, on the Skyrun and series thing. But this is just me, right? This is just me that doesn't really follow that as closely as I would, let's say, UTMB or Golden Trail. So for me, the prestige isn't there. But if you're a Skyrunner, a real Skyrunner, that's all they care about. They don't care about like the UTMB races over buttery trails that are nice, smooth, runnable stuff. They don't care about that. They have prestige in their own races. So that's what they're looking for. It's 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 a strange one. Like a lot of it would be based on brands, what your brand wants you to do. But I think most lads, most elite athletes that want to race, they number one want to do races um that they excel in, but excite them, and that I don't know how would you say it that they just enjoy running. Like,
Like as Josh says in the chat, competition. We for years that has always been the factor that has drawn people, elite runners to particular races, was competition. because in years gone by, there was no prize money, there was no anything else other than the iconic race and the competition that was there, and the most
Yeah,
iconic races, the most prestigious, historic races pulled the competition, which kind of fed that line. But then you've got things like the Golden Trail that have these new races, some of them that have been completely created from scratch, and so they don't have the prestige, but they've got the competition, but they've got the prize money.
yeah.
So the choices are more complicated now.
Exactly. Because, like when I was even like a few years ago, I would have always decided my race on the prestige over the prize money because it would have been that way. It would have been the race that everybody wants to win. There might be no prize money in that. And people would say to me, "Oh, did you get any money for winning that race?" And I'd say I didn't get a penny for winning that race. But yet there could have been a much lesser race on that I probably could have won easy, and there might have been like, couple of £100, maybe £1,000 of prize money in that. And I was like, yeah, it's a handy few quid to go and win or try and win. But I would rather win this race because, that's the race that people will remember. But
Yeah.
it's different now. It's different now.
Another comment coming through with Tom Evans in UTS. Think it pulls others to race like John Albon. Absolutely. I totally think. And obviously, as well, John Albon is another smart guy because he will seek competition, but he'll also seek prize money.
Yeah,
Obstacle
yeah,
course
yeah.
champion. And
Yeah,
nobody knows the name of anyone else that he's racing in those races. He's just going to, I don't know, pay the mortgage or, get some coin.
yeah.
So yeah, I think competition attracts competition, and that remains, but it's just maybe more complicated these days. And
Yeah, it was like a few years ago. I remember watching Hayden Hawks go to somewhere like there was a race in Poland or somewhere. There was $30,000 prize money. There was nobody in it. He just went there, racked up 30 grand. You know what I mean? It was an easy win for him and it was a no-brainer for him. You know what I mean? So, and that was the pull of that race was the prize money. Because they know that they're not going to get the big runners there because it was around UTMB time. I don't think there was much between it. It might have been a race that was like either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, one or the other, And it was like, well, nobody else is going to do that race, none of the elites, unless we throw big prize money into it.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start picking my races. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna go to Fiji in like UTMB week and race in Fiji. See if I can pick up a win.
It's smart. It's smart. You heard it here first, lads.
Brains, you know what I'm saying? All right. Well, speaking of deep competition and stacked races, let's move on and talk a little bit about training. And you finished your week off with a race. So
I,
let's jump into the training segment and hit me with the volume for last week, and then we'll talk about the race.
so volume was 100 and I think 118 kilometers, 2,000 meters of climbing, and maybe like 10 hours, just less than 10 hours training. So good week.
Lovely.
And yeah, good week. I ended up with another one of my, so at the minute I'm doing a little winter race series. There's 3 races in it. And at the weekend, I had my second round. So I was second in the first race, and it's your best results out of 3 races, and you hopefully top the league. So I had a great race there at the weekend. So it was 9K, I think maybe 200, not much, but 250 meters of elevation in it. It was a fast gun-ho race. It was great fun. It was great crack. I was very, very lucky enough to come away with the win and put me top of the league going into the last race in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, look, I was very happy with it. I ran really well on a week's training as such, you know what I mean? There was no taper, there was no nothing. I just did my normal weekly training, turned up, ran hard for, I don't know, whatever, 35 or 40 minutes, got a great stimulus, got a great workout, and got a win.
So that 2 hour, it wasn't even 2 hour, that 20K run with me on the Monday didn't bollocks you.
No, I was okay after that. I was okay. That was a good leg loosener on the Monday after the long run the day before.
You told
Was
me you had DOMs after that run with me. I think I was
No, I had
pushing you in the
DOMs from the day
climbs.
before. I had DOMs from the day before, and then the run with you loosened me DOMs out, and the next day I was grand. Then because like usually, nah. But honestly, you're actually right. I had DOMs on the. So that was the Monday you and me ran together. On the Tuesday, I had DOMs. So my Tuesday run was a very easy run. It was just whatever pace I felt like I was able to run at. And I ended up running like 5 minute Ks for, I don't know, 14 or 16K. I can't remember rightly, right? But I mean, I definitely had DOMs, and DOMs played a big part in how I paced that run. And then the next day, I was back to my normal sort of steady running self, and my legs felt fine. But I definitely had DOMs after the weekend in the morns, because the morns will find all the muscles and hurt them all.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time before they were descending 25 to 35% grades? So that's what
Yeah.
it does. What else we got? So we got you had one race. Did you have a workout during the last week as well?
No, I didn't actually, because I was supposed to have a workout on that Wednesday. That was the workout I was supposed to do, but I had DOMs that day. So I says, right, I'll do the workout on the Thursday. And I was going to do the workout on the Thursday, but then I was like, oh, look, race Saturday. I want to win that race. I was very, very like focused on getting a win because I needed a win. I couldn't have another second, because if I had another second, I'd probably be out of contention in the league. So I needed a win. So I was like, I need to save my legs a little bit for that. So I would have had a steady run on the Thursday with some strides. So I would have done, I think again, I ended up with like 16K on the Thursday, and then I did, I think 7 or 8 by 70 meter strides, something like that, just at the end of the run, just to get the legs moving again, get them ready and get them sharp. And I did the very same again on Friday. I ended up my run with strides on the Friday as well. I just think strides before a race are the way to go.
Yeah, totally. And even like the day before a workout, as well as the
Yeah.
warm up for the workout, is a great time to throw in some strides. 70 seconds, 70-meter stride. How many seconds is that? Because we talk about time here a lot.
Yeah. Would it, I don't know, would it be like, trying to think, like, would it be like 12 or 13 seconds, maybe something like that?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, like 10 to 20 is usually the range for a stride.
Yeah.
So, no, sounds perfect. And focus for this week.
Folks, for this week is try and get good volume again this week. This week's a funny week for me because I know that I'm going to be ramping up soon into Swiss Canyon Trails training, right? And
Trail,
I've
just
had,
trail.
yeah, but no, but oh yeah, yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to ramp up my miles, but at the same time, I'm going, well, I've been very consistent over the last few weeks without kind of having a down week, right? And I know that I have to get physio. And I was at physio this is a long drawn out thing. I was at physio after my race on Saturday because it was the only time my physio could see me. But seeing me after my race is useless. She's not able to do anything with me because my muscles are like bursting out of my legs. You know what I mean? They're too warm. They're too, let's say, even inflamed as such. And she's not able to do a whole pile of work on them. So I have to go back to her on Wednesday this week. So that's going to just interrupt my training a little bit. And I'm trying to hit the same kind of volume, even a little bit more. But I have to kind of just sort of gauge how I'm feeling after physio, because you never know how you are after physio. If your physio goes to town on you the next day your run might be a write off, and I might have great intentions to run 20K on the Thursday and not be able to run 12K. So it kind of all plays out in that. But the long runs are coming back. The long runs are coming back at the weekend. So I like to think that I'm doing a lot more back-to-back long runs, and I'll make up the distance in that. So I'm going to aim for around 120 kilometers this week with around 2,000 to 2,500 meters of climbing. That may happen. It may not happen.
And kind of new, we should probably mention at this point, is the new supplement that we're both trying, sent to us by the company. So disclosure there that we did get this stuff for free, but we were also interested in like some of the stuff we've heard about the improvements and performance advantages that this can give you. So
Yeah,
we've been testing the Currens supplement, and what did we tested it for we did 2 months. We did like middle of November through to middle of January,
yeah,
and then we went off it, and then we've just started last week a block that'll take us right the way through to Swiss Canyon Trail with 2 tablets per day. And look, there's lots of like medical studies and things that have been published about the supplements and how it can improve certain various things. One of the things that I thought was most useful or most interesting, because like sometimes you just have to distill it down to the most basic thing to say, well, is that helpful? And apparently it's great for speeding up the replenishment of muscle glycogen, meaning
yeah,
you can recover faster from glycogen depletion and train at a higher intensity more frequently.
yeah,
And we both really like sub-threshold and threshold running. So in that sense, you are burning some glycogen, and yeah, we're interested to see how that goes. So 2 tablets a day, and then you can take 2 extra tablets on workout days or like race days and things. So we will let you know how that goes, and we will also have a discount code as well for the Trail Talk community. So jump into the WhatsApp because I'll probably post that this week.
yeah.
I haven't posted it yet, but as I said, like we didn't want to talk about this supplement until we'd gone through the trial and tested it and thought, yeah, there's something here. Let's go into some sort of partnership and test it for the next goal race. So that's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
but it's a product I've been interested in. Like there was so many like elite athletes on it over the last couple of years, and like it's just a product that I've really been interested in. So I'm glad we're working with these lads and then just getting to use the stuff and see what it's like for ourselves.
Yeah, so it's the Curran, and then Z at the end. It's a New Zealand berry supplement, and yeah, I'll stick a link to it, and we can chat about it in the nutrition group on the Trail Talk WhatsApp. So jump in there via the link in bio after the show, and like in half an hour, whatever, I'll stick in a link, and we can chat about it there rather than on the show. Uh, Last thing I wanted to say about it was about a year ago, Kim Collison was on the podcast after he won the spine, and that was the first time I heard about this supplement.
Okay.
Kim was taking it throughout the spine, still takes it, swears by it, and also Ruth Croft. She's a Kiwi. This is
Yeah.
a Kiwi company. She took it throughout UTMB, a certain protocol at each aid station. There's
Yeah,
something in
that
this, and that's like,
yeah.
you know, we're also yes, we go and spend 300 quid on a new pair of shoes for a marginal gain. I like to think the best marginal gains to aim for are health improvements. So
Yeah.
this is one that's interesting.
Yeah, and like, do you know what I really like about it? It's like you can have something that's performance enhancing or trying to enhance your performance, and that's all very interesting. That's all very good, right? But I'm more interested in a product that aids recovery. I'm way more interested in a product that you can use for performance, but also aids recovery. And I think that's where that product wins for me, that it can do both, you know?
Comment in the chat. Kim's back in the start line or start list for Winter Spine 2027. Yeah, the guy keeps showing up, doesn't he? Yeah, I might actually come over and cover the Winter Spine next year.
Ah, deadly.
It's not something I wanted to do in consecutive years, but it was a good experience, and it's also like a cool race to follow. I think the race coverage for the Spine is all about the field rather than the race,
Yeah,
and I like
definitely.
covering the race because there definitely is a race. All right, moving on because we don't want this to sound like a flipping advert. Um,
Yeah,
what
but it's yours. It's like I want to know like what kind of training you've done. You've been in the air for like 30 hours. Like, you know, What sort of training impact did that have on you this week?
Oh yeah, I suppose my training. So last week, 76 kilometers, 9.5 hours, and 2,600 and something meters of gain. So a little bit more vert. The graph is trending up perfectly. I guess, in terms of workouts, it was a shorter week because I had 2 days of travel. Like I left on Saturday morning and I arrived here on Sunday night.
Yeah,
So I had basically 2 days less training, but I ran 5 days consecutive, which was again another improvement. And honestly, I felt like I came away with good like progression. I was happy with
yeah,
where I came after it. Obviously, I had a bit of an issue with the quad, which we went into, but that was quite a unique thing where I didn't activate properly, and then an old niggle just flared up. Shit happens, as they say.
yeah,
But this week, I will. I mean, the priority is to get over the jet lag. I woke up today at 2 a.m. I
yeah,
haven't that's why I'm probably more awake than normal on the podcast. Like there's a few more cylinders firing today than your average week when I'm doing it at 7:30 in the morning. So ran yesterday, was fine. Man, the heat's hard. Like we talk about the Irish weather, the cold, and it beats you down, but it makes you tough.
yeah,
But the hot weather is the other extreme, and it is hard and you have to adapt to it as well. But see, yesterday went out for the run, legs felt good because I hadn't run for 2 days. It was just with the travel.
yeah,
But see, when the body temperature creeps up to a certain amount and you start to overheat, it just the heart rate creeps up with it. And I was going out yesterday just for a recovery run, just to get things moving. And honestly, the last couple of Ks was like, oh, Jesus, I feel like stopping and pausing to watch and having a wee drink of
yeah,
water
yeah.
here.
But that's everything. That's an accumulation of everything. That's an accumulation of jet lag, tiredness, and then the heat. Like that's not just the heat. The heat finds the other problems. That's what the heat will do for you. You know what I mean? Because it'll overheat your body, but it'll also really overheat your brain. And then everything else kicks into gear. Then I always find that if you're tired in the heat, you will get even more tired. You know what I mean? But guess what? All you have to do in the heat to adapt is take off your shirt, man. That's all you have to do. I have to put on 50,000 layers, a buff, and a hat, and a gloves, and everything. The heat, all you have to do is take off clothes, take off your shirt. Ugh.
I'm not doing that because here that means you have to put on way more sunscreen, and I'm like a line on the nose kind of guy and a little bit round the neck. That's as much sunscreen as I want to stick on, and that's only because my wife tells me put that on because I don't
She's
want.
right. She's right. Come on, man.
Of
I'm a
course she's
roofing
right.
carpenter
She's
in
always right.
Ireland, and I have sun cream on me every day, man. You need to be putting sun cream on. You heard it here. You heard it here. Wear your sunscreen, even in Ireland.
I've got some news to break that I haven't even told you about.
Tell me.
I'm racing next weekend.
What are you doing?
Well, the rescheduled race is next weekend, but it clashes with another race actually that I have an entry for. Um, and the other
Distance.
race, 50, 55, 56,
That's
20,
that's nearly that's nearly as
2,900 meters.
much. Yeah. You're kind of like your training volume has kind of gone up to, like we'd say 70, 80K, and now you're jumping into another 50K race. Like, yeah.
But I've said this before in the podcast, after 5 weeks of consistent training, the fitness is there, the base fitness is there. But I'm I don't know, 10 weeks into consistent low volume, but double workouts every week. So
Yeah.
after the last week in Mourne, I felt like I could have run the 7 days. I had good recovery. I was happy with all of that. So I was sort of on the fence about the race next week, but coming back here, I feel like that is the right step to take because I'm racing again at the 29th of March. I have a 60K in China. I'll talk about that on another episode. So these are all building up to Ultra Trail Australia,
Yeah.
which is 2 weeks before Swiss Canyon Trail, which is my goal race of the early season. So next, not this weekend coming, but weekend after, got Archie's 50K, which is part of the Hut to Hut um, race event. It's kind of like an iconic thing in Australia, this race, and there's connections to like Bo Miles, if you know him from YouTube,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he did like the training camp, and he's part of this thing. It's got like a real, it was something that was recommended to me from like the Australian community at GPT whenever I was there in person. They said, "Oh, you have to do this," but it's the last year of the event,
Oh, okay.
so
Cool.
that's why I kind of like, no, you got to just do it and experience it before it goes away. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Just on that, right? Like I ran 9K race, a 9K race that I would have bit your hand off to run a 50K race instead of it. Like it, those short, sharp races are really horrible. Like they're horrible, and I mean,
Horrible.
there's no hiding on them. There is no hiding on them. And as fit as I feel, I would have felt better racing a 50K because you can kind of like you can gauge a 50K. You don't have to go hard from the word go. You know what I mean? And you can settle in and you can find your groove and you maybe get into that kind of like nice flow or something like that and practice. You get used to taking on your fluids and your gels and everything. 9, 10K trail races are just balls to the wall, flat to the mat, taste of blood in your mouth. All I tasted was copper and blood for about 3 hours after that race. I'm telling you, they're sick races, hey.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've run super short. Like I would
Mm,
probably have to think back to fell races, and I mean even in the last 5, 6 years, even when I did fell races, they were the long distance ones. But I'd
yeah,
have to go back quite a while to go back to like a 4 mile race uphill and
yeah,
down, which are just the best. I've actually forgotten what it tastes like to have that feeling of like copper or coins in your mouth
yeah, yeah,
from, that's yeah, it's unique
yeah.
sensation. Archie's 50K, let me give you the details. 54K, 26 to 2900 meters of vert. Course record is 5:36, and there's 13 river crossings.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
And I
but
think
those
what
stats, man, that's a race. That's a race right up your street now. That's a race right
yeah,
up your street.
and I think like quite early in the race, you got like a 1400-meter climb. It's around the Mount Buller area. So I think like there's a couple of big climbs in it which get those stats, which is fucking class. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I'm one of the reasons I'm kind of also excited in terms of a training stimulus is it's hard to get the long ups and downs, and you need that sensation in the legs. Probably I would say at least every 3 weeks, right?
yeah,
So 3 weeks, that'll be from coming back from the mountains of Mourne. So that'll get me another stimulus. And then keeps the legs in condition of doing hard, long descents. So
yeah, yeah,
comment in the chat, snakes, absolutely. Part of the kit, snake bandage. I know the protocol. You get bit by a snake, don't move, get your bandage on, and wait for help. SOS out, send another runner. That is the protocol. Don't move, basically. Don't move.
Oh,
If you move, you might die. So it's good
wow.
incentive not to move.
Yeah, or just don't get bit, man.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you might stand in one.
Josh would suck the poison out. Or get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do
Sucking me calf here.
it.
All right, what else have we got on the docket here? Um, Look, this weekend, couple of big races coming up. Black Canyon and Tarawera. Let's touch on Tarawera because it's down in my neck of the woods. Something that came out when I was reading up about this is the gender split on the races is pretty cool. So if we forget about the miler, because the longer distances always have the most um, more male runners than female. But in 100K, it's 38% female. In the 50K, it's 52% female, right?
Ah, that's cool.
In the 21, it's 61. And in the 14, it's 68. So some of the races
That's
there, there's more women than men, which
Yeah,
is pretty cool to
that's
see.
so rare though. That's so rare. Like, where else have you ever seen that? Like, I've never seen that kind of a stat before. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Two golden tickets, or the first two places get golden tickets for Western States. Top three get auto entry into UTMB finale in Chamonix. So, like, I think we're on lock here for Ruth and Dan.
Yeah.
Three-peat winners already of that race, and Dan Jones is on a streak. Like, he's won the last three. I think there was a gap in Ruth's victories of 1 year. Thoughts on Tarawera?
Yeah, Tarawera for me is exactly what you just said. Like, you know what I mean? I can't, in the men's race, I can't see past Dan Jones. Dan Jones is again doing what he was doing last year. He is flying. He looks like he's in really good shape. He looks like he's hungry. He looks like he's destined to go back to Western States. And I can't see past Dan. And then in the women's race, there's no way. I do not see past Ruth Croft. I just think she's a machine. She's won that race so many times now. It's her back garden, and she's in flying form at the minute. You know what I mean? And just going by like her social media feed and stuff like that, she seems to have trained really well. She's in a good headspace, so I can't really see past her.
Yeah, it's just doing cool adventures as well as the training. But Ruth is like top of the tree. She's up there with the few names that are the best,
Yeah.
touching on GOAT status if we don't want to overuse that, but she is, getting there.
She could win all three races if she wanted at Tarawera. She could win the 50, win the 100, and win the miler. If she
Yeah,
wanted to, she
yeah.
could.
Lucy Bartholomew is there as well, and I think Lucy's idea here is, get the ticket, get the entry, whatever. I don't think she's strong enough to beat Ruth, but I'm a Lucy Bartholomew fan, and every year I'm just impressed with what she stacks. Like I follow her training quite a lot because
Yeah,
I just think it's great training, and also I like to see where she's running because I live here, and oh yeah, look at the length of that climb. That looks like a good area, good range, or whatever, and the volume that she stacks is unreal, and the
yeah,
pace that she runs is like she's running faster than you in her training runs. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
know that how fast that you run. So Lucy is an absolute weapon and just keeps getting better. So I think
yeah.
she'll show strongly there.
Yeah, you've got Bet McKenzie in there as well in the 100K as well. So I always wonder about this one because, look, again, I don't know the ins and outs of it either. Like, so maybe you correct me on this or maybe you know more than me. But I mean, she's there and I think that she has the potential to get a ticket as well. Like, you know what I mean? She's good enough to get a ticket. But let's say she does get a ticket. Can she ever do Western States?
Well, yeah, so for viewer context, it's because of a previous doping violation, which I think may have been down to a tainted supplement, which um, I don't know. I think
Yeah, and this
people,
is back in her Ironman days, back in her triathlon days. Like, yeah,
yeah.
it's years ago.
So, but yeah, so the Western States ruling is that if you've had a previous conviction, that you're not eligible, whether you win a ticket or not. And she's previously won tickets and not
Yeah,
been able
yeah,
to go. But it's in her, like, these are races in her region, so she continues to do them. I think there may have been whispers that they might not maybe relax it, but they're it's down to their discretion as well. Like it's not a black and white rule. As strict
yeah,
as America is, whenever they have this is a rule, there's no breaking it. These are the rules. Even though we made them up, you have to comply with them. Thinking to
yeah,
like Thevenard whenever he took aid just outside an aid station in Hard Rock, when he was leading by a mile, and they're like, you're out of here. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
Not even a time penalty because you broke a rule and that was a rule, so you're out. So interesting. she will be a contender in that race for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan. I think she's class. Yeah,
Yeah, she's very good. And then Peter Engdahl as well in the men's field. So probably gonna run very strong. I'd like to see him give Dan a bit of a race. Been training a lot together, and personally, Peter Engdahl's a big fan of Lord of the Rings. So am I. So
yeah.
every reel he puts up from New Zealand has
It,
Lord of the Rings music, which
yeah.
is good.
Look, and Petter's a beast, and Petter is every bit as good as Dan. You know what I mean in his own right. But I just think Tarawera is Dan's race, and it's a faster race. Like we'll say, if there was more climbing in it, if there was more hiking in it, then I'd be I'd be backing Petter all day long because his VO2 max is insane, and he's unbelievably strong on the uphill. But this is a race suited for a very, very fast man called Dan Jones.
Yeah, this is a running race, and the highest VO2 max is not going to win this race.
Yeah,
That's not the deciding factor. But let's hope that there's a good race regardless.
yeah.
Anything else on Tarawera before we move on? Have a chat about Black Canyon.
No.
Simple as that. No. All right. Well, Black Canyon is also this weekend. Golden ticket race. Top three get a place in Western States this year, and it is super stacked. So let's start and just chat about the women. I'll throw out a few
Yeah.
things there, and you can pick up whatever
Yeah,
you want.
it's more stacked in the women. It's more stacked in the women than in the men, I think.
Yeah, returning champion Riley Brady competing non-binary in the women's field. Uh, Gonna be there in the
Yeah.
radical airflow top, I'm sure. Um, as an ACG athlete, Molly Seidel making her
Mm,
ultra, not her ultra, her 100K debut because she made her ultra debut just a month or more ago at Bandera,
yeah. That's going to be
winning that
interesting.
50K. So
Mm.
how is she gonna run? Like, one thing
Fast.
that I think, like whenever runners are coming up, fast runners are coming up the distances, I think one of the things that they fall foul of is pacing. Like they
Mm.
don't know how to hold back enough. And with Black Canyon being so much of a net downhill race, right? A lot of
Yeah.
people blow up. So how is she gonna manage that?
Yeah, and it's just the fact that she's, do you know what I mean? This will be the furthest, this will be her longest distance ever, like, you know what I mean? So she's ran a 50K, and up until that was her longest run, you know what I mean? So it's her progression is from here to there, you know what I mean? That's it, and it's that fast, it's straight away. So, but at the same time, look what she did in her last 50K race. I mean, she blew the doors off it, right? And there's no reason she can't do that in her first 100K either. Like, you know, the only other thing is there's a lot of experience out there against her and going to be competing against her. But Molly has a ton of experience. You know what I mean? It's not like she started running last week. The girl's been an elite athlete and probably more so professional athlete than most of the girls she's competing against.
Yeah, I mean, an Olympic medalist, bronze medalist, I
Yeah,
think. So
yeah,
a competitor, lifelong competitor. Interested to see how
yeah,
that goes. I have to give a shout out to Katrina Jennings, Irish
yeah.
Irish
Um,
athlete, first at Tunnel Hill, world record holder, another Olympian, and most
yeah.
importantly, a trail talker.
Yeah, yeah, but very, very like I was looking at Katrina on this as well, and I was thinking Molly Seidel doing this, but I mean Molly and Katrina are the same, you know what I mean? Same kind of background, you know that where they're coming from in the marathon running side of things. Both Olympians, both very, very fast, but not afraid to take on the trails, which I think is just super cool. Like Katrina has found that little niche where she can do both and do both really well when she picks her race intelligently, you know, and that's what she's done at Canyons. You know, she's picked that one really well. She wants a ticket, man. She wants a ticket.
Black Canyon.
Ah, Black Canyon. Everyone knows the deal with me. Come on. Anything
Uh,
with Canyon, forget about it.
and here's someone else that I'm excited to see race is Ingvild Kaspersen,
Yeah,
world champion.
The names we're listing right now is insane.
So, I mean, didn't have a great showing in 2023. She was seventh at Black Canyon, but it's fair to say that not long after that, she's been on a streak of doing the best stuff in the sport and absolutely nailing it. So very excited to see how she'll go. I don't know if she's been doing any or what type of heat training she's been doing. Obviously, from the Nordics, so not used to desert running, but um, yeah, just like such an impressive athlete. So we'll see how she goes. Anyone else there stand out from you on the women's side?
I'm trying to just think because we've listed out a few of them. I know you've got Shea Aguilino there again, another ACG athlete. It's a race that'll suit her well. I'm trying to think who else is there.
What about Hoka and Flowers? New
Yeah,
sighting.
Anne Flowers. Yeah, was she? She had a decent run. Did she run there before? Was she there before?
She won Leadville last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Yeah, could go well. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, the women's race that's where it's at. There's so many. It's going to be unreal,
Tara
unreal.
Dyer, Abby Hall, Tabor Hemming. Jen Lichter makes her 100K debut, also now wearing ACG as opposed to the North Face. So I hope the cameras, the follow
Yeah,
cams are on the women's race.
yeah, but that is genuinely. I know people that say something like all the time, oh, there's ten women there that can win that race. There's 10 men. There genuinely is 10 women there that can win that race. Like, like if they have a day, any of those women can win that race. Like, so it's always a great race. It's always a great race. It's a race I love watching, have loved watching over the years.
Yeah, always good drone footage from that race as well. No
Yeah.
tree cover, which is great.
Yeah, always get a good YouTube video out of it. You always do. You can always be guaranteed to get a good YouTube video to run on the treadmill to. You
Yeah,
always do.
yeah. In Jamil Curry we trust. And then on the in the men's field, I'll ring off some names here. Anthony Costales won the race in 23. Eli Hemming, fourth there last year. Stephen Kirsch. I only have him in the list for you. I would have omitted him from my notes, but fourth
You have
there
him up high.
two
You
years
called him
ago.
out like in fourth there, I think.
Um, Francesco Pupi
Mm,
has to be like the favorite potentially. Matt Seidel,
yeah,
who he's in there, like he went out fast last year, was challenging at the front and didn't go his way, but since then he's podiumed at JFK and continues just to really evolve in the sport and
yeah,
show his strength. And the kid, Hans Troyer,
yeah. Hans
now
Troyer, yeah. Will that be his
now
first race?
Hokaman.
Will that be his first race for Hoka? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for Hans. That's going to be class. I think that's going to be class. Hans and Poopy going toe to toe as well. Very exciting. Um, yeah, yeah, again, that race is going to be class. Who else you call out there? You call Anthony Casales. I'm a big fan of Anthony. I think he's class. I think he was second second there a couple of years ago. Him
No,
and
he
Tom
won it
Evans
in
had a great.
23.
He won it, sorry, yeah, and Tom Evans was second, is right. Yeah, fantastic race. Knows the course well. But Anthony's one of those guys. He's either going to bring it, and he could bring it and win it, or he'll pick up an injury. He can be lucky and unlucky in a very short space of time. Like so,
I would
but I'm
say
a big fan of him.
he's mostly been off the boil since that win.
Mm, yeah, true,
Like
true.
he was in the Cheeto State singlet and won the race that day, and then he got signed to
That's
after
that's right.
states. So that same
He had
year
no sponsor that day.
he then
Yeah,
signed
yeah.
with Nike, and he hasn't really done anything since. Did he maybe have
Mm.
he maybe had a result at Ultra Cape Town and that was it. But yeah,
He did. He did it. He did have a podium somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know how big of a race it was. I remember seeing it, and it's not that long ago. It was like a comeback race from when he was second in, I think. But I don't know how big of a race that was.
a question in the chat from Jay. Is there a live stream for Tarawera? Yeah, I'm sure there will be, and probably Martin Gaffuri on the commentary as well. So I'm sure that will happen. Ricky, as we close out on Black Canyon, who's going to be the top fluffer? Poofy, Poopy, or Troyer? Who's going to be the lead fluffer?
uh, uh, Poopy or Han Solo, huh? It could be. Look, it's hard to see past Poopy, right? I think it is. It's just hard to see past him. Like the form he's been in, the season he had last year. But I'm telling you, like Hans is hungry, man. You know what I mean? He's young and fit, and he's cocky and he's arrogant and he's good crack. And I think we're all fans of Hans. But I mean, it'll be a race. It'll be a race, and Hans won't let like Poopy's reputation or anything like that hold him back. You know what I mean? You saw Hans a couple of years ago when he was just coming on the scene and he was right on Hayden Hawks. He didn't give Hayden Hawks any respect. It was like, I'm coming for you. You know, I don't care who you are. It's my time. And it'd be a great start to his whole career if he could take the win now.
We've said this before. Poopy only shows up to win.
Mm.
So he's not an all talk guy, he's an all action guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Comment in the chat, Jim rumored to be racing too. Yeah, they are rumors, but honestly, I think if Jim was racing, we would know.
Yeah,
It's
because
so close.
it's too close. It is too close because when I saw the list and I didn't see his name on it when I was there, well then he's not racing. Like his name would be on the list now if he was racing. He can't. I know he's in one, but he can't just rock up to a race. Like his name has to be there.
Yeah, I don't think it's really fair at this close to a race to just turn up and get that entry. So I think that's just speculation and a bit of just the rumor mill for a bit of drama.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah,
think maybe a bit of that was because he was out in Sedona there training with Poopy. You know what I mean? It was a lot of coverage of the two lads
that's because
training
of Poopy.
together. Yeah,
Poopy wouldn't put the phone down.
yeah. I'd love to know how accurate. Look, I know I'm spitballing here, but I'd love to know how accurate that was. You know the way like Poopy's there with Jim, and he's kind of like I don't know. He's kind of like he's super fan. He's a super fan of Jim's, and he's letting Jim kind of like be his hero, whatever. But I mean, in those clips, it did look like he was leaving Poopy for dust. Like I mean, for dust, as if he was an average runner compared to Jim. You know, I'd love to know how accurate that was. Like, was that him playing to the cameras, or was he actually genuinely getting dropped? Like, you know?
Poopy's the water boy when it comes to Jim. Different. Jim's at the top.
Yeah.
He's got the speed and the experience. He hasn't started to slow down.
Mm.
Poopy's definitely got the speed, but
Yeah, it's incredible. Though. It's incredible, really. When I was watching those clips, and I know I'm just getting in on it here, but I mean, if anyone did see them clips, and you could only be impressed by what Jim Walmsley is able to do to other elite athletes. Like it's insane.
you can't beat your heroes until the heroes start to decline, and Jimmy ain't declining, and he's
No.
still everyone has him
Yeah.
up on a pedestal. So
Where he is, where he actually is, like he's put up there for a reason. You know, he is the best at the minute.
yeah. So shout out to the listeners and viewers. We want to know, should we continue with the Trail Talk Fantasy League? There's a hardcore group of people that are putting the picks in. I'm kind of faltering personally because the thought of doing 10 deep for Black Canyon this weekend and it's just a golden ticket race, I feel like that's too much work. That's too much effort. If it was five, I probably wouldn't even question it. Yeah, five deep, no problem. Let's
Yeah.
go. But yeah, keen to know what people think. Should we continue with the league or just drop it at this point?
Yeah, I can't do the 10 because too many of them are 10. I know I
You
hardly
can't even
ever
do the
do it.
five.
Yeah, but like 10 is way too much because it takes you way too long, man. You have to invest way too much time in it. You can't just roll it off your tongue. You have to go in and you have to search, the results and this, that, and the other because those 10 are so close to each other. You know what I mean? Especially this year in the men and women's race. You really need to go delving deep into the stats to try and pick a winner, like, you know.
Yeah. Look, Max Jolliffe Unsolicited Memes has entered the chat, and we just want to let you know, mate, you're too late. You've missed the fluffer debate. Who's going to be the lead fluffer at Black Canyon this week? So scroll back and find out. Anyway, look, let's move on. Community racers. Holly was racing 56K in Hong Kong last weekend, so shout
Yeah,
out to
super
Holly
cool. Yeah.
for that. And yeah, we've still got places available at Swiss Canyon Trail at the end of May. We're going to say 40, but you could also just say a shit ton of trail talkers are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big meetup. It's going to be fun. Jump into the Trail Talk WhatsApp if you've got any questions about it. There's a discount code as well if you're interested in racing 16, 30, 50, 80, 111. Pick your flavour. Ricki, you're racing the 111, which is the premier race, the one
Yeah.
where all of the weapons will be in, as will Uric. So I'll definitely not be in that one. So moving on and closing out the show. Ricki, anything else from you?
No, just excited for the race of this weekend, excited for all things Swiss Canyons Trail, and just excited to get after it, man.
You're never going to get past the whole canyon, whether it's plural or not. Doesn't matter. Any race with canyon in the title, you're fucked. We're not going to be able to sort that out. All right, look, enjoy the rest of your week. Jump into the Trail Talk WhatsApp for a bit of crack, a bit of banter. Subscribe to the YouTube because the vlogs are coming. We've got the More Meetup vlog coming this week. It is pretty much edited, so
Yeah.
stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll catch you all soon. Peace.
Peace.